Hey guys, so it's Chanel. Thank y'all for tuning in again to Mother with a Hustle. On this podcast, I like to give the flowers to all the moms out there, whether they're working a 9 to 5, whether they are going to school, any type of hustle that they're doing to provide for their kids. So today I have a special guest. She is a beautiful woman. She's a mom of 4 boys, and she's in the business of waxing. Her name is Amber. So Amber, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your business?
Hello. Sorry, I'm just awkward. But I'm Amber. I am a licensed esthetician. This is my 4th year going into business by myself, actually. Well, I'm lying. I've been licensed for 4 years. This is my 3rd year going into business, actually.
Really? So what made you do waxing?
The transition's kind of crazy, but at the time I had my second son. So I had been working in the club, like bartending and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do lashes and I hated it. So I got on Google, did a simple search, found out what an esthetician was. I was like, okay, I could find something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Literally registered for school, started, and that's how I got here. I thought I was going to do facials, but once I got to the waxing program, initially I wanted to learn how to do brows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like watching like YouTubes and stuff like that, I just naturally picked up the form of how to lay wax.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to the end of the portion of the program, my instructor literally was like, graduate and I'm gonna get you a job. And I got a job at European Wax Center fresh out of school. So that's how it started.
Was it awkward though? Because it's like you looking at
I didn't know
ladies part.
Because in school you don't get to practice Brazilians. Like the school I went to Elaine Sterling. It's here in Atlanta. I did not get to. We did like full bodies, but we didn't get to practice Brazilian. So when I did start at European, I wasn't really. I don't know. It's almost like art to me.
Okay.
When I try to explain it to people, like, of course it's vaginas, but I have a very genuine respect for vaginas because none are the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally nobody has the same one. So everybody's looks different. Everybody's anatomy is different. But ultimately, I'm gonna get the hair off. That's how I look at it.
That's like okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it like waxing hurt. Okay,
it does. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable.
Because when I first got my wax, you know they did the surface layer. It was cool. When she like spread your legs, it gets I'm like, is it too late to turn around?
No, it's too late. I have never had nobody get up. It's uncomfortable.
Really?
It really is uncomfortable.
Did anybody ever get up?
It's really just a skill. Like I started at European in February of 2019.
Okay.
Actually, I found out I was pregnant again when I started there. So I was there for 6 months. At European, you don't stay long.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taught to, you learn how to speed wax. So I can't remember if it was the week of Valentine's Day. It was somewhere around there. It was either the first week of February or second week of February. But everybody was coming for their Valentine's Day wax. And I kid you not, everybody that I had was like bigger women.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know at the time how to be like, can you hold your stomach? You know, I didn't know how to do that like politely. So very like insecure. Like
okay.
I wasn't confident. So, yeah, I remember my first month was difficult because I was just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like European, they want you to stay under like a time scale.
Mm-hmm.
I was going over my time, like literally.
Was there somebody with you, like watching you?
Yeah, you get trained, but it's one thing to like, I am a visual learner, but it's one thing when you're watching it and then when you're actually doing it, because you do have to hold. Because like I said, everybody's vagina is not the same. You might have some that like longer, looser, no shade. But everybody's anatomy is just different. So I just had to learn. It's just a skill. It's a skill you have to learn. I wasn't good at it when I first started.
So how did you gain your confidence? Because you said you wasn't confident at first.
And this is another funny thing because I'm still friends with one of the people that I started with. I remember like if somebody has something wrong with their skin, I used to be like, you need to exfoliate, which that's not the answer. Like you do need to take care of your skin, but exfoliation is it's not the cure. So I do remember, I used to be like, oh, you need to exfoliate, not knowing, you know, like that was like what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I didn't know I didn't know. Let's just say I didn't know. It's like with any skill, I feel like with experience, you just learn.
Yeah, learn as you pretty much go.
I don't know what my life would be now or where my business would be if I would have tried to like be independent straight out of school. I do not recommend that. Anytime like somebody's about to come out out of esthetician school, I do not recommend going straight in unless you built your clientele while you're in school. I did not build my clientele while I was in school. I really didn't even say out loud that I was in esthetician school. I don't know why I was like not ashamed, but
I was gonna ask that too. Were you kind of like embarrassed?
Yeah, I think I was.
Like,
because it's like I was going to school for something, and people are like, "You're what?" Even to this day, they're like, "You wax." And I'm like, "Yes." I make a decent.
Did you ever
get
the comment when people be like, "You just be doing anything"?
Like,
did you get that?
I guess because I'm the type of person back then, especially when I was like a newer mom. But my tax money, I'm doing something. So I was taking a class. So this was around the time where it was like tax time again. Literally got my tax money, and that's how I kind of started with school, even with financial aid. So I think my first 6 months, I was good. I was more confident towards the end, but I started at European. I started there in February. I stopped working there by July, like July 4th, I remember.
And at this time, you had 2 kids.
I had 2. My oldest at the time was 6, and my youngest was a baby. He had turned 1.
How was that?
Matter of fact, he was 2.
And how was that? Going to school and then having a 6-year-old?
I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how. Like, looking back, I don't know how I did it.
Was the hours crazy? Did you have to go every day? Or?
It was every day. Monday through Friday. It was, I believe, if I remember, it was like 9 o'clock to 2:30. It was basically like having a job. And my son was in pre-K at the time. So he would be at school. The pre-K was right down the street. He'd be at school. And sometimes, I'd have to double up with my schedule. But I was commuting him because I lived in Gwinnett. The school was in Atlanta. So sometimes I'd have like a couple hours, go take him home, go back, finish up my hours. So I don't know how I did it because I didn't even have a job. Like I didn't have like a full-time job.
You were just stepping out on faith.
And my boyfriend at the time, he was in jail. So it was real crazy. I don't know how I made it through that.
So how was your mental? Like, what was you thinking while you were doing? Were you even thinking at all? Why?
There was no thinking because I really could have crashed out. I really could have. But I had I have a good support system. I always had a good support system. So that's what really was built a lot of my foundation. But I was determined to finish. I'm not a quitter. And like I said, with esthetician school, I really did not know I was going to be a waxer. Like I liked skincare per se, like natural skincare. And I really did enjoy doing facials. But it was like once I got there and then I had that instructor that basically spoke life into me, it just took off after that. So I worked at European for 6 months. Took a little bit of a break. By this time I'm pregnant. My son was due in December. I worked at a smaller boutique, like a wax boutique. I worked there up until I had him. So I got my experience being with like a franchise corporate. And then I got to work with small business, which I'm so glad I did it. Cause then he was born December of 2019. Pandemic happened. I was supposed to go back to work. But then I'm like, I was scared. Cause I'm just like,
scared because of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Or scared
I had a newborn baby. So I'm like,
okay.
I'll never forget. When I was supposed to go back, actually, one of my managers or just somebody at European had hit me back because I really did want to go back to work. Like this was around the time we was doing unemployment. So I was getting unemployment from them. And then it was like, okay, you can come back. I almost did. But I remember we were doing like a training or something of what the protocol was going to be. So I'll never forget. They had said that we're going to check temperatures. Anybody that had 99 degrees and below could come in. And I was uncomfortable with that because I'm like, 99 degrees low-key means you got a fever. And I had this newborn baby at home. So my first stimulus check, that is how Waxing with Am was birthed, literally.
Really?
That was literally how it was birthed.
So you know how to do facials and stuff like that?
I do, but I have not touched a face since I was in school.
I was just about to ask you
I have not touched a face.
So if people do ask you just like, no, just strictly waxing?
Just strictly waxing. I just feel like for me, the type of person I am, I don't like to do things that I don't want to do. Of course, I can make money doing it, but if it's not like something I'm passionate about, I don't like playing around with it because that's how you get burnt out. I passionately like waxing. Like I like meeting people. It's anybody will tell you when they come to get a wax, it's a little 30-minute appointment, but we gonna vibe out. You gonna get we gonna talk regular. I'm gonna be like the long lost homegirl. We gonna do your wax and then I'll see you next month.
That's literally how it is too when you get a wax. Because me and my wax lady, we be talking about everything, legs up in the air.
I know everything.
And we just be talking.
I know everything about my clients. I've seen everything. It's just, we be vibing out. And it's just my personality. Like, I know everybody says they're a girl's girl, but I really do like, I feed off of energy, especially from women that are doing it. Like I can't say that I'm necessarily like influenced by anybody, but I'm definitely inspired. So there's a lot of women, like I have literally teenage clients that are about to embark on real life. They're about to graduate high school. I have corporate women. I have women that are first-time moms. Like it's every type of woman. So those are who, like, inspires me, keeps me going.
So how was the transition from working underneath somebody to working by yourself? Were you scared at first because you don't have nobody there to like kind of mentor you?
I was scared. I am going to shout out my instructor that is from when I was in school. Her name is Dion Holly. She's still somebody that I can go to for advice. Like she literally, when I say like spoke life into me, it was like, this is what you're going to do. And she was a waxer too. So it's like she saw something in me. And even seeing her, how she's built her business. Now she does laser, but how she built her business. I didn't have anybody like hold my hand, but I will say it helped a lot for me working at EWC and then working for the small business. Because the small business, I was able to ask questions. I saw how even simple things like inventory, which inventory is a hassle because you have to be like, you have to plan ahead. How it's been plenty of times I ran out of wax. My clients wouldn't know that, but like trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So when I started, okay, so let me think the time scale. I started, I got a suite. It was either June or July of 2020. Okay. That's when I first started. I got a suite. Like I said, I started my business off the stimulus check, right? So remember when everything got shut down, we weren't priority. So my first 6 months were hell. I wasn't making any money. So that part was already in the suite. I was already in the suite having to pay money. Thank God the man that I had like, like a regular suite place, like a regular franchise. I guess because he wasn't making, like, it just wasn't anything that he could do. My first 6 months, like literally he just didn't hold the debt against me. I kid you not, my first 6 months, I probably had like a handful of clients.
So did it discourage you or did it make you want to go harder? It
was very discouraging, but I didn't honestly have any other options. Like I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I trusted God. I made sure I'm a little bit biased also because like my close friends ran businesses. So like one of my friends at the time, she did hair. I had another friend that did nails. And then of course, like a few people that I kept in touch with that I went to school with. One of them really took off with skincare. So those were people I was like, okay,
so you had people kind of like motivating you and telling you
one thing I will tell you, or anybody that's thinking about starting a small business or being an entrepreneur, you just have to always stay in your lane of being teachable. Like you just, especially being in the beauty industry, like it's always evolving. Even the stuff that I started out doing 3 years ago is different now. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever brush up on classes? Like,
yes, I actually have a class coming. I have a brow class that I'm taking on the 20th in North Carolina.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited because that's just that's what I told you. I always wanted to do brows.
Do you do your own or do you know how to do your own?
I do, but
because I don't know how to do my own.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not I'm like that person where I'm gonna pay somebody. So even with my own waxes, I'll wax myself, but I don't enjoy it.
That's kind of me. Like when it comes to like makeup and stuff like that, I'm not like your typical girly girl. I'm like tomboyish.
That's when I told you I want to dye with my lashes. I'm dead serious. Like, don't let me dye without lashes. I need my lashes. And
that's the one thing that you need.
That's the one thing I need. I don't care about nothing else. I don't know how, like, I kind of am learning how to like fill in my brows, but like even a basic face, I don't know how to do.
I can't.
It's cool. We cute. We can just wake up and go. Yeah, but my lashes, I know I can wake up and go. And that's do a little hair. I just cut my hair off, so it's short now. So I'm learning it. But my mom wasn't into like, I was a tomboy growing up too. But my mom wasn't. I don't remember seeing my mom like doing her makeup, like nothing serious. Maybe like a little concealer here and there. But
so I didn't grow up on that. So you just like how the brows look. That's why you want to do the class, or
because if brows are, like sometimes you judge people by the shoes that they wear or just anything. Like the brows, if they're done right, can really set your face. Just like lashes.
Oh, you can add that to your list. Before you die, you can get your lashes done and make sure your brows is done.
Don't send me to see God. Don't.
Without her without my lashes. And without her eyebrows being done. Okay.
Please, don't do that to me. Like My Girl, like the movie My Girl.
I never seen that.
You never seen My Girl?
No.
You ever seen My Girl? You know the part where he dies and she's over it? She's like, his glasses. Because he ends up dying and he like...
You know what I did? It's the little kids.
Yeah,
I seen
Macaulay Culkin.
What is it? Trending on Facebook, but I never saw it.
You never saw My Girl? It's like 3 of them.
I've never seen it.
I grew up on that movie. Like, I know it front and back. But that specific part, that's the part, like, my lashes.
That's what you...
Don't let me down without my lashes, please.
So
please.
let's get into these babies because at the end of the day, that's who we doing it for. It's for these babies. And you got boys.
I do. And I got 4 them guys.
Oh, 4. What's their ages?
My oldest is 12. He'll be 13 in September.
September what?
16th.
Oh,
he is a Virgo. I don't know.
I'm a Virgo.
I mean, girls and boys got to be different. I don't really have much experience with Virgos, but I mean, my son's a great kid. He's a great kid, but we're just going through the teenage pains. He's about to be a teenager, so it's hit me upside my head. Then, his name is Daniel. Then right after that is my 7-year-old. He just turned 7. His name is Leon. Then my 4-year-old's Paris, and my 2-year-old's Ace.
How is that? I know that household is busy.
Always, even at nighttime.
So are you going to try for a girl or are you?
I'm done. I'm actually actively begging for a dog. I want a dog.
You want a dog? Have you had a dog before?
Not my own dog. My parents always had a dog.
It's like another child.
I know, but I feel like, okay, if I tell you this, I hope you understand. It's like I do want another baby, but I don't want a kid. Like, I want a baby.
You want a baby? Okay, yeah.
But I don't want it to grow up.
Because I like the infant stage. I love that stage. It's when they start walking and talking back, and it's just like...
The 2-year-old, he's going through them terrible twos, and I'm just like, who are you? I don't even know this baby. He's turning into... He's just getting personality. He's being influenced by his brothers. Like, he yelling at me now. He trying to talk. He's just all over the place. And very adamant, like, no, I don't want that.
Really?
He's very adamant.
So how is it like balancing work life and mommy life?
To be honest, I don't think I've mastered that part. That's the part I'll be honest. I'm still trying to get there.
Really? So how do you think you're doing so far?
I mean, I'm doing it because it has to get done. My older two, my second son is not active in sports right now, but my older two, they're of sports age. So my oldest son plays AAU basketball. So if you're familiar, that schedule is crazy.
You are busy.
Very busy. And then, the second one, summer's coming up. So I'm trying to, get them involved in summer camp. So my days start really early because I work out. And that's my mental space. So
walk us through, what is the normal life of Amber from waking up to going to sleep?
The normal day. All right. I work out at my class starts at 5 a.m. I ain't at 5 a.m. I'm a 5 a.m. I work at 5 a.m.
Whew. Okay. So you wake up at 5 a.m. No, your class start at 5.
It first up at 5. I don't live too far from my gym. So I wake up at 4:56. I just brush my teeth, my clothes laid out. I put them on, get in the car, get to the gym. That's an hour. By the time I'm done, I get home. It's time to wake the kids up, get them ready for school. I get them to school. I usually go to work. If I have free time, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a gym junkie now. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but that's where I get my clarity. Like, that's my safe place. So
it is kind of like a mental breakthrough.
It is.
Like when I was going to the gym, and then I used to do boxing too. And
how did you like that?
Girl, I love it. Like boxing is just whatever type, like if I'm feeling mad, stressed, whatever, and just releasing it out, like I love it. It's amazing.
I'm trying to find something else to do. I'm thinking about I'm really thinking about doing tennis or
you ever thought about Pilates? Oh, you want to do
I do Pilates here and there.
Okay.
Like I'll try Pilates. I've tried yoga, the gym I go to, but they have like yoga on Saturday. So sometimes I'll do that. I just don't think I'm centered enough.
How do you find time?
I just make it. If I got an hour, I will make it. Literally. I'm not kidding.
Really? Do you take naps throughout the day? Or
I do take naps.
Okay.
I've even been at work sometimes. If I don't have a client, I will lay on my bed and I'll take a nap in between my clients. I'm a nap person. If I'm in my car and I got a little time to take a nap, I'm gonna take a nap. I will take a nap.
Because starting your day at 4:15. I'm still stuck on that.
No.
Not 4:15.
I don't want to even fake. I don't want to false advertise. I wake up at 4:50, 4:56.
Okay,
it's somewhere in that range.
Okay,
as long as I can get to the gym by like 5:15, 5:20, I'm cool because I don't live far from the gym. Now, if I move further, which actually my gym is actually moving locations, so I'm worried about that because it's like an extra 10 minutes.
So you have to wake up extra.
I'm gonna have to wake up earlier.
So how long has it been since you've been waking up at this time?
It just started back. But when I first started, I'm 2 years in of being consistent going to the gym. So I started at 5 a.m. My schedule was not as hectic, but I realized, okay, I did 5 a.m. and then they had an 8:30 class. And with the 8:30 class, I did that for maybe like last summer, actually. That's when I started doing 8:30 because the kids, didn't have to wake up early. But I realized trying to maintain that when they started school, it messed up my schedule, like my routine. So I like to keep my routine. I'm not before this, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I was going to be a person waking up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, I would have been like, no.
Yeah, because I haven't made it there yet.
Give yourself grace. Everybody's not there. But I will tell you, with me doing it and sticking with your routine, I get a lot more done. Like, I get a lot more done in my day. That 8:30 class, I used to linger around. Sometimes my day really didn't get started till like 12 o'clock. So now it gives me the advantage. I go work out early in the morning, which I don't even have enough energy to do in the evening. So I'm not an evening workout person. If I have to, I will. Like if I have to make up. But I start that early, get the kids to school. So while they're at school, that's when I can get stuff done. And that way I can focus on when they're home. We can do whatever, which is usually practice or homework or anything, yeah, just something ready. I can concentrate on that. So my business hours, my day it's like normal for me. So if I have like a regular, it's like a 9 to 5 for me basically.
Okay, so you're in your shop from 9 to 5, like
yeah. Okay. I make sure just about every day after I drop my kids off, because it's not too far. I'm actually located in Lilburn, so when I drop them off, I'll go up there, and that's usually when I do like
How many clients do you take a day?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm in a pickup right now where I'm like trying to get back. And that's really just because last year I took another job. Like I always bartend on the side. So I think I dedicated way too much time. So I didn't start seeing it until like winter time, which naturally is slow season. Nobody's like vacationing. That's usually for people that are real consistent. But time, money's hard for everybody right now. So usually self-care, that's usually the first expense that goes. So I'm just trying to, I'm at this point where I'm trying to stay true to me and like my expertise, but then at the same time, think like, a consumer with someone that has a lot of responsibilities. Because majority of my clients, like, I think they respect me because of what I have going on. You know what I'm saying? Like how I do it, which...
And they probably can relate too.
No, it's very relatable. Because I always tell people, like, if I'm figuring out, even with the gym thing, if I can figure it out, everybody can figure it out. But it's not cookie cutter. What I make work for me, this is what I make work for me. Like nobody made the schedule for me. I had to tweak it. And when things come up, I still have to tweak. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what, like, when people ask me, because I have 3 kids.
Okay.
So people will ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? And just like how you said, I'm just doing it. It's like there's no real answer. It's like when you have something that you want to accomplish and you want to achieve.
You just make time.
There's no map or roadmap. Just like especially when you become a mom. Yeah, there's just when you become a mom, there's no book, no matter how many self-help books they can say about how to be a mom.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's like you figure it out on your own.
My first kid, I read so many books. I read, the first baby, you don't know what to expect. I literally read the What to Expect book, did all this. And then it's like you become a mom and it's like...
They didn't say this.
You didn't tell me. I knew my baby was going to be cluster feeding, but you ain't tell me. Or even with each kid. Like, I kid you not. Every one of my kids, especially like my younger son, I went through so much stuff with him that I didn't experience with the other boys. So it's just like sometimes it's been literally out loud. I'll be like, this feels like I'm a first-time mom. Because, of course, with, each kid, you're just like, kid bumped their head. You just like, I don't think he needs stitches. I can usually tell. But now it's like, for instance, he has eczema. None of my other kids have eczema. His is like, when he was a baby, it was pretty bad. I didn't know, and I'm trying all these like things that I think would work because I have a little bit of knowledge with skincare, but it wasn't working for him. So I had to get a dermatologist, figure that out. Like I said, it's not no one fits all. So
it's literally like,
I'm just like, ooh, he got something on his skin. I have to actually take him to the doctor because I don't know what it is.
Did that kind of delay you with working, like doing the waxes and everything by him having the eczema and not knowing?
Okay, this is what's crazy. So with my last 2 babies, they have been here since I've been waxing. With the third kid, Paris, I took him to work with me.
Really?
I still don't even know how I still had clients because I remember, and I breastfed. So sometimes he would cry and I have to like literally stop service and be like, do you mind if I feed the baby? And they felt me, and then some people probably was like, girl, what is this? Because I ain't gonna lie. That's like, well, it's not to me. I think I respect it because I have been in spaces before where my mom mode kicks in. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody needs something for their kid, most of the time I give them space because I've been there. So even with my youngest, he just... I guess because he was low-key sickly, I just didn't put him into daycare like immediately. But even when he couldn't go to daycare, he had to come to work with me because I didn't really like have a backup because I breastfed him and he just didn't drink from bottles.
Really?
So I had to bring him to work with me.
So when did he start drinking from the bottle?
Close to when he was 1. I actually had to take a trip I went on vacation and I left him with my mom, and he got weaned off. Actively, my boobs were leaking when I was on, like, that's how I dried my milk up. I went on vacation.
See, this is why moms are like superheroes. Because even with my mom, when it came to like potty training, my daughter, like, she gave me the most problems. My sons, they were easy. But my daughter, for some reason, she just wouldn't want to go to the bathroom. I left her with my mom for the weekend, and it was just like magic. She was just
like, you was just gone.
Yeah.
My mom had the baby on a schedule. Like, he had like, you know, like, was eating bottles, actually holding the bottle. He never would do that for me. She had him on a sleep schedule, like, and I was only gone for what, like 4 or 5 days, and I was just like, who is this?
Like,
but I was appreciative,
baby?
Right? But I was so appreciative because I don't know how else. He would not come off my boob.
Really?
He just wouldn't.
So do he still come to work with you sometimes?
No, he too now. And it's funny because, you know, like, especially like my regulars, they'll be like, how's Ace? And Ace was such a good baby. He was really sweet. Like, he was so cute when he first came out. So everybody's just like, oh, because I went back 4 weeks, like, immediately after I had him. So
was it because you were bored or
it was life. His daddy was so I had to do what I had to do. So I had him. I went back to work. It might not have been 4 weeks immediately. And I think I tapered in. I didn't like immediately take. I think I definitely cut off new clients. I didn't take new clients for a hot second. I just kind of built my business back. And then it was actually weird because I got COVID when I was pregnant with him. It was right before his birthday's in March. It was in Christmas time.
That you caught COVID?
I had COVID, and I almost didn't work for like a month because I had it, and then I just had to assume my kids had it. So it was kind of like I got sick, and then
did it hurt the business at any point?
It did.
Did you lose clients, or were they kind of like understanding?
They were understanding, but it's just like, you know, I wasn't making money. So even at that point, I was trying to build my savings because I knew I was, I was taking off, and life was happening. There's been a lot of times because I just turned 35. So when I started esthetician school, I think I turned 28 when I was in esthetician school. So from then to now, a lot of life has happened, especially having kids. A lot of life has happened in between. So I've had to learn how to adjust. So
how is your like, because I'm super big now on like mental health. I feel like if you're not right mentally, then nothing else will be right.
It won't.
So I know you go to the gym. Is there anything else you do to kind of keep balance with your mental health?
Gym is a big part. What the gym has taught me is a lot of discipline. So, and like I said, if I'm doing something and I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. So that goes with housework. Like, if it's a day, I might be home and be off. I don't have nothing to do. That would be time where, you know, you usually would be like, oh, I'm a clean up. If I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it.
I had to learn that. Like, I had just came back from Chicago and I had to clean up. I had to wash clothes, but I was so tired. I was so burnt out. And then I had to get ready for this podcast. So I'm just like,
you got to give yourself
grace.
You know what? You can't be Superwoman.
I can't
like, the world will really make you feel like, or even like social media, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about that behind the scenes, which you have to be realistic with yourself. Whatever works for you, that works for you, and just stick to it. I don't really care about when nobody says. My kids are taken care of, so.
And I said this last time on the last episode, but this is why I dislike Instagram. Because Instagram makes it seem like it's a perfect world.
It's not.
You will see somebody mastering 1, 2, 3 skills, but they don't talk about the behind the scenes, like what we're talking about now. They don't talk about how many nights you stay up crying on your knees, begging God, like, please show me a way. Like, they
literally
don't show
making
that.
Nothing out of something.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then sometimes I feel like for the ones that are talking about it, that are talking about like, man, this is so hard, I'm struggling. Oftentimes people get laughed at it. And it's like,
I'm authentic all the way. I'm authentic. Like, I don't sugarcoat. That's just my personality. I'm really not like that. And with my clients, I always keep on my end. I like to communicate, which my client can, you know, they can cancel their appointment. They don't owe me a reason. More times than none, though, they're going to tell me like, hey, this came up. Or even I have clients. I have several clients, actually. This is funny. I have several clients, and if they watch this, they're going to know who I'm talking about. After I had Ace, I had like 4 of my regulars that were all in our 30s. We talking about being outside, and they all got pregnant. So these are people. I have one client, literally her kids were like teenagers, and she had started all over. So this is times when she's calling me like, girl, what is this? Because I haven't been shopping for a baby. But I understand, because that's the client where it's like, look, Amber, she's a 911 operator. Actually, she works for dispatch.
Okay.
I was up all night. I was at work. The baby got this. I can't make it today. That's fine. I'm not super strict with like, especially my regulars. I don't believe in
About
like
them canceling and stuff like that. So
just a no call, no show. If you can't respect that, please don't ever book with me. I can't see past that, because you don't owe me an explanation, but just give me a little heads up. Like, I can't make it.
Like, let me know. Because I could have booked somebody else.
I could have stayed home.
Yeah, that part too.
I could have took a nap.
Or you could have went to the gym.
I could have ate. I could have ate a little bit longer. I'm thinking I got to rush to get ready for you, and you just no cost on me. So, and that does not happen often. Like I said, how I want to be treated, that's how I treat my clients. I really look at my clients like my homegirls. Like, there's a lot of them. I always tell them that, like, I would hang out with them outside. I don't really do too much of that, but there are a lot of them, because I get it. I've created this safe place. My waxing business was my safe place when I had my son, because when I had the third one, because the pandemic, there was a lot of uncertainty around that time. So, and I definitely had postpartum around that time. So with
How
me,
was that?
I mean, I think, like, honestly, when I was in the thick of it, I didn't realize it. It really was after the fact when I think back on stuff, and I'm just like, wow, I really don't know how I made that. I think naturally I'm just a take it to the chin type of person, because that's just how I am. But I don't think it's about stuff until after the fact.
You mentioned give yourself grace a lot. Do you give yourself grace?
I try to.
Do you take that advice? You try
I really do.
Or are you like super hard on yourself?
I used to be, but that doesn't get me anywhere. So even with like my friends, my friends that are entrepreneurs, how I've worked, and also therapy. I actually just started back with therapy. I feel like that's a really good outlet, because sometimes you just need to hear yourself say things out loud to somebody that's unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I think giving yourself grace might be, I haven't been burnt out yet. And I really pray to God I never get burnt out. But I can identify on days like, this is work for me. So of course I'm going to get it done. But I might tell my client ahead of time, like, look, if I'm not, my energy's kind of low, I got stuff going on, but I'm still present. Like, this is still our time. Giving yourself grace is really important, because you might be battling mental health, and really it's you that's triggering yourself, by thinking like, oh, everything has to be perfect. I can say, like, when like previously, especially in like my 20s, especially when it was just like me and my older son, I just went with the flow with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can honestly say, like, I wasn't that person that had like a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Like, I was a mom, so I'm just hustling, trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? So there was like no plan, like, I'm gonna do this for 6 months, and then after that, I'm very intentional about that now. So now I have a plan. So if I know I have a vacation coming up, I'll try to, like, now, don't get me wrong, I suffer from procrastination so bad, and it's something I'm trying to be delivered from. But if I have a vacation coming up, I try to do everything before that, so that way when I come back, I'm not overwhelmed.
Okay.
So, which I haven't taken a vacation in a while. I'm due. But more than likely, it's on the way. When the kids get out of school, I have more time. But, little stuff like I might wash all the clothes, make sure everything's put away, make sure the kids are straight. That way, when I get back, I can still, like, not necessarily relax, but
still have some you time without having to feel like you're doing a million things.
Because, it's such an overwhelming experience when your house is like cluttered, or when it's like chaos. And mine is always chaos. Don't get me wrong. I'm having to get through that. But
I had to learn that too. My dad had came to my house probably like, this was like around the holidays. And he like, you got stuff everywhere. I got 3 kids. Of course I'm gonna have stuff everywhere.
My house ain't dirty.
Like, yeah, it ain't dirty.
It ain't dirty, but yes, there might be some things.
But you might see some toys over here.
Definitely
you might see a ball over here.
Definitely
like,
toys.
You might see some chips in the corner.
Definitely
but
see chips. My kids love chips. That's our number one snack. Even with the house, like with the housework, it's like, I don't know. I just have to get to the point where I can outsource. I found this was last year. This was a big, because I hate washing clothes. I've been like that since I was a teenager. Like, I hate washing clothes and folding them. So there is a service I use that will pick your clothes up from in front of your house, wash them, and drop them off the next day.
They fold it?
It's called Poplin. Yep.
Share that with me when we
And it's like $1 a pound. So it's like, I can have 100 pounds. I don't care. I got $100.
And they drop it back off.
Drop it right back off. The lady that I was using too, I'm sure she realized I had different sets, and like sizes. Yes. Folded all my stuff up. according to the
'Cause when
sizes.
you
All I
have
had to do
a
was put
big
it back.
household,
Yes.
washing and folding,
It's
got
so
to the
overwhelming.
Point, my oldest son is 10, so it got to the point where he got his own basket. So I'm just like, hey, this is how you clean. This is how you wash your clothes.
I don't trust my son yet.
No?
Mm-mm. He doesn't wash clothes. I go back and forth with this all the time. I don't trust him. And I just feel like you mess the clothes up, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take nobody new clothes. Mm-hmm. So he ain't there yet. Now, organizing, when I tell him, like, get your dirty clothes out and put them in the piles, he's good with that.
He good with that.
My
son, he like to do it. Even though like some boys don't, but he really likes he's real independent. So he's at the cooking stage where he like, if I take a meat out, he like, Mom, let me cook it or let me season it.
Do you let him?
I do.
My son is not trust. I don't trust him. He's observant though. And even I think it's my mom that has him that way because they spend a lot, spend time with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're my boyfriend's grandma. They spend time with her too. But most I can do with him is like eggs.
No,
we ain't got to the meat part
we
yet.
We started with breakfast because we have like the little breakfast skillet. That's what we had first. So he'll be mixing up the eggs, mixing up the pancake because of course it's not the actual stove, it's the skillet. Right. So he started there.
That's a good idea.
He just grew into like he wanted to make fried chicken. So I'm in the kitchen, we doing this together, cleaning it. Then we got that little the fryer. So it's nothing on the
air
stove,
fryer?
Not the air fryer, the actual like
deep fryer.
The deep fryer.
Okay, my son will kill the air fryer. I don't care what he do in the air fryer.
He tries to do it, but I let him do like all the little household gadget first before he actually do the stove. Like spaghetti, of course, he'll make on the stove, but he likes doing it.
Okay, I need to. I'm gonna have to tell him to get right there.
It be helping me out because I gotta get the two little ones ready. So I'm just like, all right, I'll be in the kitchen watching him while I'm handling them, and
he's helpful. I think because I don't like want to, okay, I'm very big because I do have boys. I'm, especially my oldest, I be beating him in the head, like, especially now, he's about to be 13. Like, what type of person do you want to grow up to be? You know, like who do you look up to? Who do you aspire to be? I'm very big and I have those conversations with him very often. So I don't like, of course, regular stuff like, yeah, she needs to know how to clean up yourself, keep your area clean. I'm big on that. That's a chore. He doesn't have too much. And I think that's just like my trauma because my mom used to be like, this is what you got to do this. And I used to, I had chores. I don't know if that's like what the kids are doing now, but I know like I had real chores, Right. And if it wasn't done right, I had to do it again.
Dishes had to be done before the mom come home.
Like seriously.
Don't forget to take a pack of meat out the freezer. Or
she didn't make me do too much because I just like she made me. I had to be self-sufficient. Okay. So I'm very big. Like you're gonna be a man one day, and literally I've been to men's house, and I'm like, I don't know if you got taught or you just choose not to do anything, but I don't want him to grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she needs to be able to cook for yourself. You don't need to depend on anybody to do anything for you.
And then you have boys too. So that's kind of like...
I don't want him to think that like he just can't do nothing and he has to depend on a girl. You need to be able to take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are a man. You're a provider. You ain't too much of a nurturer unless, life makes you be that way. But you need to be able to take care of yourself and be able to take care... Like your goal should be like, I don't know, when you move out, finish college, whatever, get your own place. I don't really want you living with no girls or just like moving, like growing up too fast. So I try to be really, like even with him, he's at babysitting age. I try not to do like overdo it. Like, of course, if I have to go to work or something that's like I need it done, like I need him, of course I'll do that. But like when I'm going out, stuff like that, I'll try to like get a babysitter or they go to somebody's house. I don't want to force him to like grow up too fast.
Right. Or feeling like he got to be stuck with
because life is already hard. I want to be a kid as long as possible. So that's why I'm just like with the chores, like they don't really touch the kitchen. I'll let them do the dishwasher. They ain't really.
Do they like it?
They ain't working for nothing else. Not right now. They might want to sometimes. Like even when my 7-year-old, He's very observant. So he'll watch things and be like, can I clean my bathroom? And I'm like, okay, I can let him do that. Not too much. No, but he will. He likes it.
So how do they handle with you being like super busy? Do they see that you work really hard and want more of your time?
It's like a catch-22. They know I got my own business, so they know that I'm independent. They know I got my own thing going on. But at the same time, for instance, like I'll never forget, my son had this was like a year ago. My son had, I think, a basketball tournament and I couldn't make it. And he was like, ain't you your own boss? And I was like, ooh, yes. So yeah, I couldn't miss the game. So his schedule as of right now, it's on Saturdays and I don't work on Sunday, but sometimes he has to have like this past weekend. They were in Birmingham. I couldn't make that one. It was Cinco de Mayo weekend too. So my bartending job, I had to work there, but They're understanding, but also I do try to be active. So I don't let work like it's my priority, but I don't
let it kind of take over.
Yeah, like I can make my schedule.
So for moms that are interested in being like an entrepreneur and they have kids and they're scared to like kind of step out on faith, like what advice would you give them?
You just got to do it. I don't remember for myself, like being scared. What I did know, and I made this decision a long time ago, was that I can't work for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just, I always knew that I couldn't, like literally, I used to work at Quick Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Quick Trip pays you well. And I think they do that on purpose because
they want to keep you.
Yeah, they want to keep you. And I worked there, my longest job ever. I worked there for 5 years. And I just remember how people used to just handle me. And it's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Is there anything that you wish you would have known when you first started that you figured out now?
I wish I would have did so a lot sooner.
Really?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, because I did this in my late 20s. So it was like, now don't get me wrong. I'm not jealous. I've like, especially now because I think all of us, we're always at that point where it's like, oh, I need to be, age,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So it's always a pressure of like, okay, I'm 30, I'm supposed to have it figured out. Like I said, life has happened for me several times. I've had several life shifts.
And life will humble you.
It will definitely
humble you.
For sure.
And that's another reason why I don't really like Instagram, because they'll put you on this pedestal, on this timeline.
To make you feel like you're supposed to have this.
Feel like, this person got this in this amount of time, not knowing, you don't know what the hard labor they had to put into it.
You have no idea. The grass is not greener.
Like, even with this, I started this in 2020. Had you would have told me 4 years ago, oh, in the next 4 years, you about to start a podcast, I would have been like, man, stop it.
Right.
So it's like, you just never know. Like, there's no time frame as to when something is going to pop off for you.
Into entrepreneurship, I think what is super important for me is God. God's my foundation. I know that everything happens exactly how it's supposed to be. So once I really started like getting my relationship together with him and truly like understanding that, it took the stress off of being like, oh, by 36, I need to be here. Which now I have my goals are way more detailed. You know what I'm saying? Because I did the back work of it. But even when I first started, like, I think number one, I have a great support system. And even for people that don't have a support system, you can make yours. You know, like there's going to be people, and sometimes these might not be people that are going to be in your life for a long time. It might just be for that season, but treat it as such. Network, that's something that I'm getting into a little bit better. Like doing whatever, just business networking events or just putting myself out there. Exactly. I'm not scared to invest in myself. I know some people might be. Don't be scared. Like I said, with the beauty industry, waxing industry, it's ever evolving. So yes, take the class. It's a little $500, $600 investment. You learn a new skill, you'll make it right back. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think if I would have had somebody tell me. I'm trying to think what would be like my best advice. I think you can probably vouch on this. I think it's important to do all the business stuff first rather than later, which is like, for me, I have to have my state board license. You have to have your business license. I have an LLC. I took care of all of that. Didn't even know what I was doing, even down to like a DUNS number.
Because that's how you know it's legit.
Mine is legit.
And not even legit as far as like paperwork legit. Legit as far as this idea popped up in your head and now you're bringing it into life. Because LLCs, getting a DUNS number, building everything, that costs money.
It does cost money.
It
does cost money. But it's something that I'm glad that I did. Because so even like, I'm at the point where I'm trying to build my business credit. I've had this DUNS number literally since I started. So it's just like, I don't even remember when I did it. I genuinely, I remember checking my email and I was like, oh, I have one. I was like, okay, I did everything right. So I think it was just important, the people that I had around me, because my friends were entrepreneurs, I kind of just on the back end never realized I was going to be entrepreneur, because that was not something that I saw for myself. I just knew I couldn't work for
nobody.
Like, just corporate America, I've never done. I would never fit into corporate America.
Especially when you have kids.
Just ain't going to work.
Just like
I said, my son is sick. I can't come in.
And besides being sick, just like today, how you had your son's field day, you can't tell nobody, my son got field day. Like, I'm going to be late. They're going to be like, you don't come to work.
Right. That's pivotal because I don't want to miss those. There's a lot of things I don't want to miss. Or I also like having days where I like to kick it because that's something that having multiple kids, their personalities are totally different. You know, they have different needs, they have different wants, they like different things. So I try to do like dates here and there, even if it's just like lunch. Like one of my kids, he really likes going to, we like pho, however you say it. We try to do a date there. My other son, he likes to go to Dave and Buster's or he likes to do stuff outside. The babies, I don't really too much worry about. But the older two, I'm just like, okay, these are times that you just can't get back.
Yeah, you can't.
I never want to get, and I know like when you're building, sometimes you can get distracted. I really try my hardest not to get distracted and always just be present because they're not going to be this little for long.
And then the older they get, the more they don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, don't want to be bothered by me. Don't want to talk to me. Don't really care. I think with my older son in particular, he has an interest that he wants to like cut hair. So, and he's done little stuff on the side where he's like, I cut hair at the bathroom, got in trouble, had to come pick up his clippers, like just real crazy stuff. But I respect it, and I like, you know, because it's like, they've seen me. Also, this is just another side note. I know when my kids do start dating girls and like when waxing, like it's something that I've normalized for them because
I mean, it's life.
They just know my mom's a waxer and it's part of self-care and women deserve it. They know it. I tell them all the time, like women deserve self-care just like men deserve their self-care. Y'all have y'all barbershop. What happens at the barbershop? Y'all have y'all barbershop talk. When we waxing, I'm telling you, we be kicking it.
I'm so, like I told you in the beginning, me and my wax lady, she be asking me, so how was your trip? How was this?
And when I see you next month, I'm like, so girl,
a whole nother story.
Right. Tell me what happened. How did it go? So it's refreshing. These are like lifelong relationships I feel like I built because I have been, even before I started waxing, like, my experience with waxing, I've been getting waxed for a minute because, like when I worked at the club, I had to wear a leotard and stuff. So I just feel like it's important to be personable. It's also important to have customer service, okay? Now, I ain't saying like customers always right because it is getting wild out here where,
they think they always right.
Yeah.
And if something doesn't go their way,
yeah, they don't go that way.
A problem.
You definitely cannot please everybody. You definitely cannot.
Have you
please
ever
everybody.
had like a bad review before?
I have. I actually had my first bad review. First of all, I've always had 5-star reviews. So this was my first bad one where I got like 1 star and it brought my reviews down. And that hurt me so bad because I'm like, what can I do? I can't take it down. But long story short, this was a scheduling error. Because it was last minute, I do believe, I think I no-showed her. And then, when it came down to it, I even offered, I already charged you for the service. You can come back. You have a week. Cause usually that's what I do. Okay. But if I charge you upfront, that's just for the service. You can still come back. I'm not that type of person where I like take your money and run. So, that was my first time. I just think like, even when you're building your business and whatever that is, I think it's really important. And I just looked up when I first started, my suite manager, he actually had paid for all of us to have like a, what's it called? Like a business coach. And I have 4 sessions that he paid for.
And he paid for it for you?
Paid for my 4 sessions. Good. So I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because it just all made sense. You know what I'm saying? Even with the 6 months of me not making money for real, I guess he saw something in me and he supported it. So this particular lady, she helped. Now, I already had my logo. Like I had already been actively in business, but these are things where she's like, okay, she critiqued my logo. So she's like, these are what these colors represent, which ironically, they represented even parts of like, my personality. So it meshed. So she helped me with my target audience. She taught me how to, like, you can't just, ask them questions like, who's your ideal client? Something you need to know. Definitely need to know who your ideal client is because you can't market to everybody.
That's true.
So for me, I'm an older woman. I don't really necessarily market to like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually going to market to
Do some teenagers ever come to you sometimes?
No, they do.
Is that something you have to get permission like from their mom or?
I do. Because it's not, I'm going to be real. The most times when I did have a teenager, they did come with their mom. It's been a couple that like just found me on Instagram and they came to me and they're like a little bit later. But yeah, it's just like, have your mom, give permission or just say like, it's okay. Like some type of formal something. But more times I'm not, this is the thing. Younger clients for me are inconsistent. And when you're 17, 18 years old, you
It's
don't
just trying something
yeah, you
new.
don't have no money for real. You know what I'm saying? So my prices I don't have like regular for like, I have a wax special. That's what I built my clientele on, but I don't have like, my prices are set for people that
consistent. This is what they do.
Exactly. So if I don't do like new client specials and stuff like that, because most of the time you just trying to get a wax and you gonna go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cheap. I value myself.
That's smart marketing though.
But she taught me that.
That's really
and I
smart.
learned this really early. So yeah. I think when you're starting your business, it's very important to know your target audience, what your ideal client looks like. And this is for any scheme, like any type of business that you have. You just can't appease everybody. And yes, you should have things in order where, okay, like I don't require deposits. I just don't want to deal with it. But my booking site, you have to put your card on file. So if you miss your, for any reason, I need to charge your card, at least I have it. And if I try to charge your card and it doesn't go through, you're banned. Like that's a non-negotiable. Because I'm not wasting your time. Don't waste my time. Right. Especially if you can't communicate.
What about the ones that are like, oh, I got cash. Can I pay you in cash?
I just started taking cash. Cash is fine.
Okay.
Cash is fine. I like to, like, for paperwork purposes, I just like to just do everything in the app. So, yeah.
So what is next for you? Besides the brows, what is next?
What's next for me? What's next for me? I'm going to continue to grow. My business is going to continue to grow. Of course, I would love to have like my own, not necessarily wax center, but like a wellness center. This is so crazy because I have been looking, this is just past waxing. I have like, because I have so many kids, I have all my kids naturally. So I just have a soft spot for just moms and pregnant moms. So I really want to be a doula.
Really?
So I would love to create like a wellness center because I do offer vajacials.
Cool.
No, I love it. I'm just not a doctor. I could never go back to school to like be a doctor. If I wasn't an esthetician, I would probably be like a nutritionist or something like that type of stuff. Especially now that I'm like in the gym, I'm into that. But yeah, I would love to have a wellness center. I really, 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 I really admire moms that are like me that, like I said, if I can do this, you can do this. Just make it make sense for your life. I think I became a mom in my early 20s. So I wasn't really mature enough to have a child. And I'm not sure how many people actually plan kids, but the people that I know, we didn't plan kids. You know what I'm saying? They just came. So it's like each child I'm getting, even now, you're just continuously learning yourself. So what I'm trying to master, if that's even what it is staying true to who I am and still being a mom. I don't believe in like putting all my energy into my kids because if my cup is not full, you
can't fill theirs. There's no way.
It's no way. Your children just can't replenish your cup. It's just that's not the type of relation. Like that's not the relationship. That's not why they're here. So I just stay true to what makes me happy. It's so funny because my mom asked me a few days ago what makes me happy, and I was like a little bit stumped. And then I had the conversation with one of my friends. I was like, "Do you know what makes you happy?" And when you think past your kids and past
that's a hard question.
It's a hard question to answer.
That's a very hard Like
what
even
truly makes you happy?
If somebody asks me, it's just like I'll kind of hesitate too because it's like
I was stumped.
I don't know because the most generic answer is my kids.
Exactly,
but it's just like
trying to
figure out.
Because just think about it, like I'm really close with their grandmother. Like she's my girl. Shout out to you. She's actually really coached me. She's a life coach for real, but she's actually coached me through each one of like my change periods. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're going to put, and there's moms that have done this. You're going to put your all into your kids, not have no personal life, not have anything. And then these kids are going to grow up and leave. What do you have? So I'd rather just continuously get to know myself up until that part. That way, when I am, what is it called? An empty nester. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I'm being by myself. I still have a life. What makes me happy? I'll just answer that question because I was able to think about it. What makes me happy is like being around my friends. I have a really small circle of friends. I like doing stuff with my friends. I like doing stuff with my man. Like anything where I don't have to think about them kids, that makes me happy. But I also like dabbling with things. So I don't know. Take a candle making class.
Just doing stuff.
Trying things. Because hobbies hobbies are important.
Mm-hmm.
It's been times where I've literally had a little questionnaire. It's like, what's your hobbies? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have a hobby.
Say mine's is reading. I love a good book.
Are you a reader?
I am.
I used to be.
I am.
I'm an audio booker.
And it's going to sound so nerdy, but I'm in a book club with my cousins.
Ooh.
And we pick different books and we read it.
Have you ever read Harry Potter?
When I was in high school.
So you haven't read it back?
No.
Okay, so I found this girl on Instagram and she was like reading Harry Potter for the first time and it was so nostalgic. So I am currently with one of my other friends. I haven't been doing it like consistently, but I'm like, I gotta go back because I remember when I read it and I wasn't even in high school. I remember when I was in 4th grade. The first book came out. My 4th grade teacher read it to me. And I remember just being like, oh my gosh. And then the movies came out and I got lazy.
And that's what it is. Once the movies came out, it was kind of like, I was at that stage in life. Why am I reading it when I could just watch it?
Exactly. But the books are not the same.
No, it's not.
What's your favorite book?
So my favorite book is right now, it used to, okay, let me go back. It was The Coldest Winter Ever.
Girl.
And that's everybody's favorite. But
is.
That's the one that kind of like really made me start reading like.
Coldest Winter Ever and
like
Fly
this.
Girl, I'm pretty sure were like the first books I ever, especially like the erotic.
Yeah,
genre,
it was like, it made me like, oh, all this information, all this action is in a book.
So do you think you could write your own?
I could.
Okay.
And that's probably like one of my secret talents is I'm a writer. Like I love to write. I carry books with me.
Of course,
it's one in
doing
the car.
this takes that background.
Like even when I sent you the overview, I love doing stuff like that. So I think I am capable of writing my own book. But right now, my favorite book is The Silent Patient. So y'all pick that book up.
The Silent Patient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I just got to get into it. It's about a woman who kills her husband, like shoots him in the face multiple times. And don't speak on it again. So it's kind of trying to figure out.
But I mean, we know he's dead, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's dead for sure.
But we don't know why he died.
We don't know why she killed him until the end of the book. And it's like one of those books that be like,
ooh.
And I read that book in 2 days. So I love books like that.
What book did I read in 2 days? I just recently read a book like that. Oh, it was a, oh my God. That's what's wrong with me. I read like, I have a short span. Like if it's not in like the full part of, I don't know what frontal lobe that is, but it's like I'll read something and then I forget. But it was a really good book. I just picked up the Sarah Jake Roberts new book, so that's what I'm reading.
Oh yeah,
right
I read
now.
those too. I read a lot of self-help books.
Me too.
But the thing about it, I'm a deep thinker.
Okay.
So if I read too many self-help books, I get in my head and I start wondering like, am I doing something wrong? Am I off track?
I'm the opposite. I need the direction.
So it's like
I like to just soak up as much as I can. It's like, okay.
Every now and then when I feel like I'm taking on too much, I'll read one.
Okay.
But then I go to church every Sunday.
Me too.
I make sure I stay devoted that way. But
I need to do the same. Let my mind, because I'm a movie girl.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good movie. Not like Lifetime movies, because that was like
Tubi movies?
That was like high school. You know what?
Tubi got good movies.
Tubi got some good movies. The thing about Tubi is, people they have the vision. Mm-hmm. Like they have the storyline, and it's cute. But they don't got the money.
The quality
is very iffy.
But they got some good movies.
They be having some good story. There's some good storylines. I love a good movie though. I really do. And I feel like I'm like that with movies. Like, have you ever seen it's called Seven. It's with it's an old movie. But it's basically based around this serial killer, and he would kill people like 7 deadly sins.
Really?
And they had to figure out who this person was. It's a crazy movie. It's old. It's like it was made in like the 90s.
It's called Seven.
It's called Seven.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
I can't remember.
I like movies like that.
It was good, girl. I cried at the end because I was just like,
See, so you're a crier when you watch like certain stuff?
Secretly.
I am so. That's why.
But on the surface, I don't cry. I'm not really a crier.
Really?
I really am not. I need to get better.
So when you get overstimulated, you don't like...
I just go to sleep. Sometimes it might come off, like agitated. Now that's another thing that I finally got a word for is overstimulation with the kids. So now when I recognize it, it's like, and like I said, my day starts really early. So I call it like my kids know around like 6, 7, 8 o'clock. It's time for y'all to go. Like, go get ready for bed. I don't even care what y'all do. It's been plenty of times, especially the weekend. But summertime, I'm like, I don't know when they went to bed last night. I know I went to bed. I don't know what they're safe. You know what I'm saying? They're fed, they've bathed, but
so let me ask you,
I don't know what happened last night.
Do you soft parent or?
No.
Okay.
I try. I don't have gentle kids. That's very important. Mm-hmm. I feel like gentle parenting, and it's probably,
and then you got boys too.
But I want to be gentle with them because I don't want them Like, I don't want them to, you know,
Be
the kids
too
are not
soft.
mature. They're not emotionally aware. They're not emotionally mature with that. So I don't want, because my aggression, which like you said, is really important to have like that avenue where you can just decompress, because sometimes, especially being single mothers, and this is something that I've identified, being a single mom and having to wear so many hats, our agitation automatically is going to come out to our kids sometimes because they're the closest people to us. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if I notice a huge difference on days when I don't work out and when I do. When I work out and I let that agitation, which you probably can agree, days when you go boxing, you just like, okay, you let that steam off already. You know, I got my hormones and stuff. Everything's working how it's supposed to. But by 6, 7 o'clock,
then
I'm
you go
tired.
back home, you are
I'm chirping,
smiling. The kids
even though
be
I
like,
just,
you
I
just yelled at me.
Exactly.
Like, why are you? I'm not over that.
They're not over it, but I am. I let it go. It's on the flow. But yeah, I try to communicate because I do have boys. I don't want them to because my 7-year-old, he's my most emotional child, and he's the total opposite of me. So he's the one, I have to choose my battles with him. So with him, I can talk and be like, hey, this is where you messed up. This is, you know, why I expected you to do this and you did this. So this is your consequence. I can talk to him a little bit more. My oldest, I have a lot less patience because I just feel like, bro, you know what's going on. You're old enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've already taught you kind of what's, you know, right from wrong. So now these are just your choices. And if that's your choice, you just got to live up to what the consequence. So I think with the gentle parenting conversation, you just have to know your kids. Gentle parenting does not work for everybody. Like, I can probably be more gentle with my 2-year-old than I can with my oldest. But he might, you know, fall between the scenes and I can't be gentle with him, but I can't do it. The overstimulation, that's where I am. The overstimulation, because my 4-year-old, he's very affectionate. So some days I'm like, bro, he's like, can I give you a kiss? And I'm like, oh yeah. But then after that, I'm like, okay, stop kissing me. But it's like, okay, Paris, mommy loves you. I love that you want to kiss mommy, but I'm not in the kissing mood. He understands that versus me being like, get off of me. Yeah. And I don't want to do that to him because unfortunately, especially little black boys, you know, they're having a hard time controlling their emotions,
but still at the same time make.
So I'm firm. I'm getting more firm. I definitely over the years have had to learn. So it's just like, this is what I mean, and this is when I need it done. And if it don't get done, this is where that's gonna go. But anybody tell you, like, my house is naturally the fun house. Like, my kids, they can do whatever they want. They can go out. I got outside kids that go outside and play. They're gonna come in, get their bag of chips or get their popsicles, and they're gonna go back outside. Like, and I love that from me. Because sometimes I can just sit in my room and I don't gotta
just relax.
They don't gotta bother me.
Well, Amber, we have reached our time.
I loved
it was so nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Especially from like one mother to another, especially having multiple kids. It was so nice talking to you.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Can you let everybody know how they can follow you so they can get their waxes done for the summertime?
Okay, yes, because waxing, look, summertime is here. Okay, stop shaving, stop naring, drop the razor. My Instagram is Waxing with Am. And my booking site, I'm on Style Seat. You can just search my name. It's Amber Sears. And yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.